You heard it here first. In the year 2024, the Atlanta Falcons will make the playoffs, and here's why. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down the Atlanta Falcons' opponents, aka their schedule, even though it hasn't been released yet, and let you know why I am so convicted and convinced why the Atlanta Falcons will make the playoffs. Now, on the screen, I'm going to put now, but here is the Atlanta Falcons' 2024 opponents. Now, aka pretty much this is who they're going to play. They just haven't released the days and the times when they're going to play, but this is who they're going to play. Now, on the home and away side, I personally think that their home schedule is a little more difficult, or the home opponents are a little more difficult than their away opponents, in which that's what you want to have. You want to play your tougher games at home because it can have the crowd behind you, and it kind of can will you to win some games that you normally wouldn't really win if you're on the road. And like I said, I think that their away schedule or their away opponents are pretty chill. So that's it or there. But breaking it down, so home, you play obviously your divisional rivals. So you got your New Orleans Saints, you got your Carolina Panthers. You play them home and away. So I'm going to mention those first. So like I said, New Orleans, Carolina, and Tampa Bay. So you play those twice automatically. Now, in regards to some unique home opponents that I think could be wishy-washy, they play Dallas, they play the Pittsburgh Steelers, they play the Kansas City Chiefs, they play the Chargers, and then they play the Seattle Seahawks. So that can go either way. But on the away side, they play obviously their divisional rivals, divisional teams, but they also play the Washington Commanders, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Denver Broncos, and the Minnesota Vikings. So a lot going on there, but on the screen now, I'm going to put up who and where and what teams I think the Atlanta Falcons will beat. Now, overall, I think they'll go 11-6. I know this may be optimistic, but I think there's some teams on here that they truly are better than. And I think some teams, just given the timing and location, I think they'll sneak by. So in regards to their home stand, I think they'll lose to Dallas at home. I don't know. I just think Dallas travels well, and I think Dallas kind of matches up well against the Atlanta Falcons, kind of that high-octane offensive firepower. And I just think it'll be a really, really good game. I hope the Atlanta Falcons win that one, but that one's going to be close, to be honest. I think they'll lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers just because I know Raheem Morris is a great coach, but new coach, Mike Tomlin's been there. And then you got, obviously, Arthur Smith, who's coached here. He kind of knows the ins and outs of a potential defense, and I think he'll scheme us very well. It also will be like a coming home game for him, and it'll be pretty special. So I think they'll ink out a victory against us at Atlanta. Also, obviously, I think we're going to lose to Kansas City. I don't think there's much explanation for that, but those are the three I think we'll lose. Some other games that I think could come down to the end, but I think we'll win. I think we'll beat Seattle and the LA Chargers. I think just because them traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast, they tend to not do as well when West Coast teams travel to the East Coast. I also think they don't really match up that well against the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Atlanta Falcons I think their strength is going to be defensive line. I think their position for opportunities is going to be kind of the cornerbacks. And as of right now, I know Seattle is loaded in the receiver position, but I think we always play Seattle well. And then in regards to the Chargers, I think they don't have that many decent receivers. So I think it'll be a close game, but I think we'll both ink those out. I also think we'll beat New York at home just because I don't think New York is that good of a team, to be completely honest. And then we always usually beat New Orleans at home, and then we always usually beat Tampa Bay at home. Now, in regards to the Carolina Panthers, I think we'll beat them both times back in home and away. I just don't think they have that quite of a talented roster, but I could be surprised we lost to them last year, but I don't think that's the case, especially with Kirk Cousins. Now, away, I think we're going to lose to Philadelphia in Philly. I just think that's a tough game, tough environment for us to win. That'll probably be, depending on how we are and what time it lands in the season, that could be a Monday night game, and I just don't think we'll win that game. I also think we'll lose to the Saints at New Orleans. We always usually split with the Saints, just a divisional rivalry, and I think it'd be tough going to New Orleans and winning both at home and away at New Orleans. And I also think we'll lose to Tampa Bay. We usually play both games with Tampa Bay very, very close, and I think we'll drop one there just because. I think we'll beat Washington. At Washington, I still am not a big believer that Jaden Daniels will come up there and win 12 to 15 games. I think he has work. I think they're putting together a team that can work well, but I just don't see that happening. Minnesota, I'm not a fan of J.J. McCarthy, to be honest, and him leading this team. I know they got Jay Jettis, but I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle for him. Denver, we'll just leave that. And then, like I said, Carolina, I just don't think they're as talented as the Falcons. I think the Falcons have a better team, and I just hope that we beat Carolina twice. So 11-6 is the final tally, I think. If we go 11-6, I think we'll win the division. We'll play that first playoff game at home, and then from there, like Raheem Morris said, you make it to the playoffs. Who knows? You don't know what is going to happen. And I think if we can go 11-6, I think we could do 10-7. I think we might lose to Seattle or the Chargers. But for this moment, I'm giving us for being both. I think if we can make that happen, I think we will shock a lot of teams. And we'll have that first game, and we could probably play someone like, I don't know, maybe the Green Bay Packers or somebody like that, or Seattle. I think we'll squeeze that one out. And we're in the second round of the playoffs without even thinking about it. So I think this opponent's schedule is very favorable for the Atlanta Falcons. If we handle our business, if we split with our divisional rivals other than Carolina Panthers and beat the teams that we are naturally better than, that I think, just from a roster perspective, I think we can win 10, 11 games and really, really make a splash in the playoffs. But we got to beat the teams that we're supposed to win, and then we got to have good quarterback play from Kirk Cousins. And if I think we have that, I think we'll win a lot of games in a shootout, and it'll be a very, very fun season this year for the Atlanta Falcons. But if you agree with me, or if you disagree with me, if you say we're going to win 4 games, if you say we're going to win 14 games, let me know down in the comments below. This is just me. This is just my opinion. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. If you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.